So you live in London. You said you're originally from Latvia and your kids are bilingual. Is that right?
Yeah. We moved from Latvia, and me and my wife were both from Latvia, and our first language is Russian. So when kids came along, we decided to, okay, we're gonna teach them how to speak Russian. And for a while, for till the moment they were actually at home, we just speak only Russian. No English was actually in the family. Okay, we went to different kind of classes here and there, maybe swimming, and so the kids did hear some English, but the language in family was just Russian. But when they started school, they started getting exposed to English, and now it's kind of it's difficult to actually find the English, because the thing is, like, everything fun. All their friends they speak only English, and the English is just step starting to overtake all the Russian bits and pieces. To raise bilingual kids, it's always a fight. It's always a balance of two languages, and how to you make sure that you don't expose them to one language too much, so they just kind of completely switch to another one. But so far, it works quite well for us because, again, me and my wife is both speak Russian, so we could establish a home as a safe place for Russian language. And when we go outside, it's just English. So it worked quite well. But I do know some mixed families where only one parent speak language, and it's definitely much more difficult for kids and for parents to keep the extra language in the vocabulary.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they're such sponges that I've heard that it's just much easier for them to learn all this when they are young. But I can't imagine what an advantage it is. And right, there are probably a lot of parents that are would like to keep their language at home and teach their kids English too. So it's good to hear that it's possible and that it's important to preserve your language in your house.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not only about knowing; it's about practicing. Like, for example, again, I haven't been in Latvia for. I mean, we moved from Latvia 11 years ago, so I didn't. So I'm at home, speak only Russian, so I didn't have a chance to practice my Latvian. So bit by bit, I starting forgetting it. So what I'm saying is, even if your kid speaks extra language, he has to have the chance to practice it. I mean, we do have some friends who speak Russian, and some kids who my kids speak to in Russian, and it's amazing. So this is kind of creating this environment in both languages is quite important to keep language going.